Hey guys, Mark and Amanda.
Hello. Coming to you from Bali, Indonesia.
Check it out.
We just got married.
See, oh man, it's so weird wearing a ring.
It looks good on you though.
We just got married here in Bali a few days ago, and we're making a video to let you guys know if a destination wedding or a wedding abroad is for you. So right now we are in this beautiful 5-star resort for our honeymoon, and we're gonna show you the resort a little bit.
Huge.
Check this
got
out.
time, but no money, but there ain't nobody stopping us. We got bills, but no dollars, but now we don't really give up. No, we don't really give up. Living for that ray of light. Life can be beautiful, life can be beautiful. Going all the way tonight, making it beautiful. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like this. Acting like this.
So first we'll tell you a couple reasons why you should have a wedding abroad. The first, and I think most important, is that you're creating memories and experiences with your family and close friends, and it's a trip that they will never forget, I guarantee you.
So one of the things that we've said it a million times, that while we were traveling, we spent a year and a half, traveled all around the world, and one of the things that would have made it better is if we could have shared a lot of those experiences with our friends and family. And so that was like really high on our list, is to be able to bring people somewhere they've never been and just kind of have these experiences that are awesome, maybe slightly uncomfortable at times, but
bring them out of your comfort zone.
Exactly, that's all part of the trip.
And number two, the cost. For some crazy reason, weddings are so expensive in the States. It's like 30 grand or more, maybe a little less, but it's insane how expensive they are. So coming to Bali, we knew we'd be saving a lot of money, so that was a big reason as well.
So as much as we loved our destination wedding, it probably isn't for everybody.
For those of you who have always dreamt of having maybe a traditional wedding, if you practice Christianity, for places like Bali, the main religion here is Hinduism, so it may be harder to find a Catholic church or a Christian church. And like if you've always dreamt of having this nice extravagant wedding cake, that too may be a little more difficult to find here, and if you don't have enough time, you won't be able to do the cake testing and the food testing. I know a lot of people look forward to that as well. We didn't do any of that.
Also, if you are a perfectionist, it's going to be tough, because part of travel is being flexible and being able to go day to day and adapt. There are so many different things that you just can't control. The weather. Now that's common for everyone who's going to have an outdoor wedding, but being on the other side of the world, it's so much different, because you're not sure if you're going in rainy season. But for Bali, for instance, we were looking at the forecast on the weather app, but every day it says like haze or fog or rain, you know, and then when we were here though, every day was beautiful. So things like that, or if there's a lot of moving parts, like trying to get person A from the airport to the hotel and they don't speak English, or understanding the currency. You know, so there's a lot of things like that, and if you don't have a wedding planner like we didn't, you know, it can be tough. It's possible, but you just have to be flexible. So if you're someone who's like very by the book, you're going to be a little stressed, but I think as long as you understand that going into it, you'll be all right.
Also, for you ladies, again, with the weather, like in Bali in Asia, it's humid, so the hair may not be so friendly on your wedding day. For me, it just died. Like, there was no curl in my hair, and it was so hot. My makeup just felt like it was sweating off of my face the second I walked outside. But I knew that was going to happen, so I didn't let it get to me. It happened. It was fine. It was beautiful. It all worked out. And also, for those of you who may not like a lot of red tape, There is a lot of that when you're getting married abroad. There is a way to get around it though. For us, we actually got married in New York City through the courthouse before we left. Just because in order to make it recognized in Bali, we would have to go to the US Embassy and do all of this crazy stuff that I was not about to get into. So we took care of it back home.
The wedding abroad it's for you. I mean, you're going there because that's someplace you really love, but it's also partly for your guests. I mean, the small amount of guests you have, they're going to be spending a lot of time and money to get to where they're going, so you have to keep them in mind and come up with accommodations or activities for everybody, you know, so that everyone can have fun. And so that's part of the challenge, because fun is subjective. You know, what's fun for us may not be fun for, you know, Joe or Susie or anyone else.
Robert.
Yeah, right? So being able to have days where, you know, you can go out and do something that's very active or rigorous, then other days where you can just kind of chill and relax. And again,
know your crowd, know your audience.
Yeah.
And one more thing that I actually didn't prepare myself for, but I found myself doing this a lot, is worrying about our friends and family and making sure they weren't gonna get injured and they were gonna be safe and, you know, have fun. And there was one time we were doing a hike down Kling King. I was so nervous about everyone. I thought I was so nervous someone was gonna lose their footing and just start sliding down the cliffside.
It was just a super steep mountain, and everybody was in flip-flops.
Like, for us, it's okay. Like, we're usually close enough to each other, so if something were to happen, maybe we can help each other out. But there were so many people, I was just like, Mark, we need to go back up. I'm not going any further.
I mean, so on this trip, we had several people felt like they were going to drown, people calling for help. We had people almost crash motorbikes. My mom slipped and fell in the shower because the rock tile here is slippery. So we had a lot of close calls on this trip.
A lot of seasickness.
Yes, so just, yes, you know, you also have to be aware of your guests' safety.
And bring pills for them as well, Advil, charcoal for the stomach, or Imodium, things like that to help out as well. And sunblock.
So if you don't want to deal with any of those things, you just want to, you know, worry about the day of the wedding and all this other stuff isn't for you, then a destination wedding probably isn't something that you're looking forward to. But on the other hand, if all this stuff sounds fun and exciting for you, and again, like I said, the people that visited, that hung out with us and spent the week here, they're not going to forget this trip.
Or this wedding.
This wedding. All of it is going to be lasting. And yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
So now hopefully you have a better idea whether or not you want to have a destination wedding.
And now let's tell you why we chose Bali.
In 2017, while we were on our around the world trip, we had spent a month in Bali, and we actually spent a week out in, was it a week or so?
Yeah, just about.
Out on the Nusa Islands. One day we decided to rent a bike from Nusa Lembongan, and we cruised around Nusa Senengan and just kind of explored. And we went there with no real plans and no accommodations, and just by chance we found Jenny, the actual owner of the resort we stayed in, and
Jenny's place.
yeah, and she was like, I have accommodations available, so drive back this way, da 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 da. And we stayed the night at her place. And we remember we woke up the next morning and it had this like nice hammock, and it looked out on a gazebo which was on a cliff, and we just kind of said this would be like a really cool place to get married.
I think I joked with you and was like,
yeah, it's like, oh look, they have a gazebo, that would be perfect. The day before, when we were exploring around Nusa Senengan, I remember that as being like one of my favorite days of travel at the time.
Yeah.
Because we just did so much cool stuff, and it was like a great day. The weather was great. We had explored so many beautiful places, and everything just kind of worked out that day. Yeah, so I think we had such positive memories of Bali and Jenny's place specifically, that yeah, it just made sense for us to come back to Bali.
Yeah. And the only reason we were not going to do Bali was because we knew that not all of our friends and family could come and join us and celebrate with us. So we had actually looked into going to Mexico, to like Cabo or Cancun, and I spent like a week trying to find something, and I think I just had Jenny's place in my mind, and like I envisioned the wedding already, so it was so hard to find something that I loved, or that we loved. And yeah, we just finally, I think 2 weeks later, we were like, screw it. So we thought about Mexico, and then yeah, just said screw it, we're going to Bali. That's what we wanted originally. We're doing it.
One of the biggest benefits of having this destination wedding was the cost. It saved us so much money, and we're going to do another video, and it's going to break everything down. So just make sure you check back, and we'll give you the down and dirty on what we spent for the wedding, and maybe what we spent total just to be here for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we'll share some tips, some DIY tips.
Yeah, so it's DIY.
Do-it-yourself wedding. That's
Oh,
what we did.
yeah. Yeah.
Things I did, I should say.
Yeah, Amanda was the champ. She did all the planning. I did, what did I do? I don't know.
The photographer. Thank you.
And you'll see how much we saved or spent or whatever. However you want to look at it.
Yes. So that's it for our Bali video or destination wedding video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and please share with your friends. And wow, I don't remember even what I used to say.
Yeah, so we will see you in
Comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already a beautiful beastie.
and we will see you in the next video.